Hello guys, today we are starting our front-end application on React. So this is from our Mango Express React and the Node.js application. So today we are going to focus on building React application. So starting with the authentication, creating login page, registration page, routes, and all of that. So to get started, you make sure that you have our application. You have the startup application. This is what we have. This is our main folder, where we have a server. We have a client and the server. So in case you don't have this, you can also go to my GitHub repository, and then where you will find the project. The link is in the description of this video, so you can download the zip folder or just clone. So once you download and you extract, you open the the project with the VS Code, so you can go and install and run npm install, so to install all the packages. So this will install for server, and then also install for clients. So once you install for the server, so make sure you also to go to navigate to server. You navigate to server, server, and then there you have to create a npm file. There you have to create there you have to create your .env file, where now you will link now your MongoDB account, and then set the port and all of that. So in case you missed much about this, please go and go to the previous video, and then you'll be able to learn much about this. So for today, we are going to be focused on a client, but before that, we have to start our server. You have to do npm run dev, and this will start our server and also connect it to the database connected successfully. So in the previous video, we created APIs, testing it using Postman, sign up, login, all of that for manager, sellers, and just public, just buyer. So today, to now get started, we have to go back to our application. First of all, we need to stop this one. Then need to go back, cd to client, and then I need to open a client in another window, VS Code. So I can do code dot open a new window. So this is our client. Is completely empty, and then I can now open back my server. First of all, let me clear this one, and then back to cd server, and then I'll just start again the server. I can run npm run dev. So this will restart again our server. So this is it for this one. Now we are going back to client. We want to also to start this one, the client. So this is a bit slow. All right. To start our client, first of all, I want to make sure that you have all the packages installed. In case you missed this, you can go to the previous video where we are installing all these packages for the React. So this is my JSON package, looks like this. Okay, all right. Now I can start the React app. Remember, you are using Vite and the Tailwind CSS. So Vite is to help us to speed up development, so we don't have to keep restarting anytime we are making changes. So to start our React, I'm just going to run npm run dev. So this will start the vid. All right, so now I can open this. Can open now our application. Okay, guys. So this is a boilerplate app. So what we want to do, actually, there's nothing in this app here. So we have much to do. First of all, we have to get rid of all this. We don't need all of this one. We can clear this. And we're just going to all of this one. So I'm just going to return h1, just h1, and the class name hello world, h1 class name hello world. We have to get rid of this one. So if I save, this one is to help us to test our Tailwind CSS. Save and go back to hello world, but to have to try to see if it's actually working. So this is not actually working. So we also have to remove the default CSS. So we're gonna go to template, to index.css. I have to get rid of all of this. We don't need this one. We are going to use Tailwind CSS to set up our to start our application. Remove all of this one, but we can keep font, color, remove all this color, etc. We can keep color, can keep default color, and then the font, all of that. So we can also do h1, h1, and h2, h3. We have to remove default padding, margin to 0. Okay, so go back to our application. This is what we get. So this one looks like our Tailwind CSS is not already linked here, but also you need to link from you also need to link from the main. You have to go to main. Main is linked, so you have to go to Tailwind CSS. Here is Tailwind CSS, and you have to make some modification here. Yeah, so you can set okay, what we are trying to do here is to access all this, to access everything from the source code, source folder, src. Everything we started with the JS, with the JSX, or tx, or all of that, to access all of that. So if I save this and then go back to our application, now we see our Tailwind CSS now is working. So this is it for Tailwind CSS. I keep going back to the server folder because we have two folders, so you have to understand me. Let's close this one. So now we are going to build everything step by step. So we are not going to do any copy and paste here. So we are going to build step by step. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Let's promote the channel. All right. Next, app.js. We don't need all of this. We can get rid of this. We don't need all of this. We can even delete the file because we are not going to use it. And then this is now our app.jsx. All right, so first of all, we have to create some folders here. Create pages. So pages, everything we are going to store in here. Pages for product, users, dashboard, all of that we are going to store in here. Secondly, we want to create components folder. This is where we are going to store all our reusable components. And then we need to create also features. Features. And then also hooks. Need to create hooks. And create also utils, and also need to create routes. All right, what else do we need to create here? I'm sure this is it for the folders we need. So this will help us organize our files, everything. Next, we want to now to create, first of all, we need to create now our route. We need to start with our route first. For the route, so for the route, we need the app.js. Okay, for the route, we need to create, first of all, app route. So this is our main route file, app route.jsx. And then also we need private, where because we have private apps, private routes. So we need private routes .jsx. So private route, this is what we protect from authenticated users. So things like dashboard, checkout, all of that, creating product, all of that they require an authenticated user. So this is where we're going to store the rest of the things. Okay, let's start first of all with the app, with the our route first, our main route, app routes. So to do that, we have to go to we have to import, first of all, let's import first of all, we have to make sure to remember where we are. So page, and then route, and then app routes. So some stuff here we need to import. We need to import app route. There is some stuff here we need to import. So we need to import, first of all, we need to import browser route. So browser router, or let's say as a route, so that you can use a route as a router, so that you can use a route. So we also need to import routes, and then route, and then route with s, and then route. All right, that's it. We don't have home page, we don't, all of this we don't have them, so we need to create them. Secondly, first of all, let's go and create some pages, because we need those pages. We can create in here, we can create about.jsx, and here just going to create let's do char page, and then about. So this is just going to const about. We just return about, and then export about. Also we need to create home .jsx. So it should be in home, then page, and then home.jsx, and then we're just going to do const home, return home hello world. Say hello world from home, and then you just export to this, export home, and then this one, make sure that it's coming from hello world from about us, right? And we can also create that's it actually for these pages. Yeah, we can now go and create folders. Let's create some folders. Let's create admin. So this is about admin. So in admin, we're just going to create dashboard. Say admin dashboard. Admin dashboard .jsx. So and this one is going to be the part for this one is going to be page, and then admin, dashboard. So const, let's going to return this one and then export it. That's it for admin. So we also need the auth folder. So auth. So in here we are going to store things like login .jsx. For the login, going to do page, and then auth, and then login. So const login, we're just going to define the login here, and we export the login. We also need register .jsx. So the same thing, and this is going to be page 2, and the auth, and then register. So const register hello from register, and export the page. So let's keep this for now. Okay, back to our route now. Okay, from our route, we need to create now const app route, where now we need to return a router. We need to return router. This is the router we are returning here, and then now to wrap again the router in routes, and then now we can now start importing now all this home page and then about us page. So okay, so if I save this and go, and we don't need this one, need to close this, and then go back to our app, app.jsx. Instead to return all of this hard coded, we just remove this one. Okay, so here instead to return all of this, I'm just going to return our route, app route, which is this one here, but does not exist. We have to get rid of this, so they need it. So I'm going to import. We're going to import now app route, but you don't need to put in a car. We're just going to import it as it is, app route, and then we also need to. All right, this is it for this one. Let's just save and then go back to our browser. This is the home page. Okay, so if I save this and then go back, let's try to change this one. Instead, I could do const, just create and then export it after. So export app route, and then back to our thing, and then try to reload. But let's try to see the page this is about. So I'm trying to see the part for the page, page, and then about, and for the page, I think we're just going to just import the page without curly bracket. That's going to import the page. So back and try to reload. Now we have hello world from about us. If now try to navigate to home, which is home, but for home is actually the home, that one does not exist. The part does not exist. So home is just if you remove that and then you are in home page directly. Okay, so next, since we want to focus on creating authenticate the user, one thing I would like to do here is first of all to create the folders. For example, here let's create a folder for seller. Let's create seller, and then let's create another folder here for public user. Public user, or just you can call it buyer or customer. This makes sense. Customer. So in here, in a customer, let's create a file called a public user dashboard.jsx. So here you can the user can access this one without any issue right now. So we have to restrict this user.seller. This is seller, and then no, this is actually customer, and then public user dashboard. We create the variable, create the function, and then export it. All right, so for user can access this one right now. I just want to go, I want to show you how we are going to start now with restricting users to access all of this one. So you want the seller dashboard .jsx, and then if you come here, let's just change it to seller, and then seller dashboard. Change this to seller. All right, and then export the seller. So back to our route here, what we have so far. So we can also add let's say protected or private, let's say private route, and then for private route we are going to have let's say you can just copy this one. I'll just copy this one and duplicate them here. So here you're going to have admin dashboard, which is just for now, let's just say there's admin dashboard there, and the admin dashboard is not there. We have to create it, and then we also need to have say seller dashboard, and we also need to import that one, and then also we need to have this public user dashboard. We don't have that one too. We also need the checkout. Let's say checkout. So checkout, that is, we don't have checkout. So checkout. So these are private. Private. You can say private or protected. Say protected routes. Right, dashboard, admin dashboard is not there. First of all, let's go ahead and create an admin dashboard. Oh, admin dashboard is there actually. So just need to import admin dashboard. Let's go import admin dashboard, and then import seller dashboard and public user dashboard, and the checkout. We don't have checkout. We can also create checkout. Going to page. Let's close this one. Going back to page and create checkout. So checkout. But this one actually we don't need because it's just this file. We don't need much in here, so we can actually just let's just go ahead and create a file called checkout.jsx. So this is going to be in here page, and then checkout, and then const checkout. Just going to return hello world from checkout, and then export the checkout. So back here we don't need this part. You can get rid of this, then just save. All right, so now we need to add the path. So this is checkout, and then this is going to be let's say user dashboard, but also we need to pass the ID. We need to pass the user's ID. So this is going to be the same here. It's going to be seller dashboard, and we need to pass the ID, and then admin is the same thing. You can say manager or admin, whatever, dashboard, and then you need to pass the ID. All right, so if I take this one, I copy this, I go back to our browser, and then I just paste this one here. I give it any random thing. So hello world from home. We have an issue here. I need to get rid of that. Hello world from public user. This is public user, so you have to make sure that you are it's the exact part. So I can go back to public user. Right. I want to copy. That was supposed to be seller. So if you take this, search for, okay, this is seller. I save that. You have to make sure on the right part. So this is the seller, and then if I change here to just public, and then we get user. No, actually the user, supposed to get the user. So have to check again. Close that one, and then also close this, and then back to route. Public user. Check for public user. Is it there? Okay. Back to a browser. Public user. What's the path again? Let's copy the path to know that you have the exact path, public user. And then just give any random number. We're supposed to see this one. And then if this I don't know, is there is manager or admin, let's just try admin. No, manager. So you can try admin. Is a bit easy to type, is quick to type. And if you reload admin dashboard, this is it. All right, copy this and then back to the browser, then paste this one here, get rid of that, save. So go back to admin to check, to make sure that admin is loading. We have actually admin, and then admin dashboard. This is admin. Back to the route. Admin dashboard, and then we need to pass the ID, any ID, just any random number. So admin dashboard. So this is it for the folders, but not all. We still have much more to work on because we have to make sure that the application appear exactly as the original application. All right. Okay, so you can see anyone, you can access admin, you can access seller without any restriction. So if I just change the path here, you can go, you can view anything, even checkout. So if you can go to checkout, hello from checkout. So we want now to protect now all of this except about us, about, and then home, and then the rest of the public access content. All right, so to do that, this is our route so far. We have to go, you have to go now to our protected route and then start now see what to do. But before going to our protected route, there's some stuff here they required. First of all, let's go with the protected route. So because here now everything needs to supposed now to start to redirecting us to log in to the login page. So for protected route, you go to set the path. Just make sure that you remember where you are. So src for the source. So private, you see we are private, and then route, and then private. Okay, so first of all, let's create the private route. Private route, this is the private route, and then export the private route. Okay, so in a private route, there's some things we need to do. First of all, this function is supposed to take children, supposed to have children, and then also supposed to get allowed user or allowed role. So we can say allowed roles, which is going to be array. Okay, so after that, we need to get the to get the token, const. We need to get the token, so const token, and then but token we're actually going to get the token from the storage. So we can do const token. Sorry, const token is equal to local storage. We need to access local storage to get the token, and then we also need to get the user. Const user is equal to access the user and then pass it. But if there is no user, we will get an error. So what you have to do, you have to check first if there is user. You can check if user we get the user, we pass the user, else we just set to nil. Oh, this one's supposed to be L here for local storage. Secondly, we also want to get the location, get the current route location. So get the current route location. So const location is going to be use location, but location now we need to import. Location from React DOM, React router DOM. So to do that, we can go import import. We need to import use location. Okay, use location from no. Need to import use location from React DOM, but also I think we also need navigation. So need navigate. So and we also import navigate. All right. Okay, what else we need here for now? That's it. All right, so we get the location, user location, use location. Now, first of all, we want to make sure that the token exists. Check if the token exists. If the token exists. So if not to token, we want to redirect the user to the login. Yeah, if the token is not there, we want to redirect the user back to the token to login. And then the following one, we can now check for if user is allowed. So check if the user is allowed to access the route. Check if the user is allowed to access the route. Okay, so to check for that, first of all, we have to check if allow the user, allow the roles. So to check if actually this one exists, and then you check if allow the role is not the current user role, but also we need to check. First of all, we also need to wrap this in another statement. We also need to check if first of all if the user exists. Instead, we can just combine all of them here if user, and sometimes the token is there but the user is not there, so you have to make sure the user is there. So check if user, if not user, what do you want to do? If user, okay, and then if allow the roles exist, okay, and then if not, allow the role dot include user role. So what I'm going to do is we just return. We can navigate to an authenticate user, or navigate to, I don't know, can do navigate. We can return navigate to an authenticate user. That makes sense. An authorized user. That makes sense. Okay. This one we will work on that. The following one is okay. So now we can now the following one is we can now redirect the user. Redirect the user to Okay, redirect the user to the specify or the specific to a specific route. So this is according to the role, to their roles, their role. So in this case, for example, we want to check the user, if user and then user dot role, but that is not what we want to check here. We want to do if location. Here's the location. So the current location dot path, location dot path equal to dashboard, equal to dashboard. Location is equal to dashboard. What I want to do is if user dot role, if user dot role is equal to admin, or user dot role is equal to manager. So we want to redirect to navigate to manager. Navigate to manager. So we can do navigate, and then to manager, admin dashboard, and then we replace the location. Else if the user is equal to seller, redirect to the seller, and then else redirect to the user. But also you see we need to add the, we also need to add the ID here. We need, sorry, we need to pass, the ID. So we need to do something like admin slash admin slash dashboard, and then user ID. So this one, which you want come with the underscore. So for this one too, we need to do the same thing. We can wrap this and curly bracket, and then also pass the ID. The same thing here. All right. Okay. I think we have something correct there. All right. And then we'll just return the children. So we do return children. Okay. Okay, something I'm missing here. Okay. All right. So, but before, let's define first of all define the prop types for validation. So we can do something like private root dot prop types. First of all, need to have children. Children is going to be node, and then is required. So we set it to required. Required. And then also we need to set allowed user, allowed roles is also going to be array, and the array of, so we just set the string, actually array of strings. Okay, we need to import now the proper types, because you see we are getting error here. So to do that, to get rid of that, you have to do import prop types, import prop types from prop types. Okay, that's it. We have, I think we have something to correct in here. So let's just go ahead and test this. We will get back to this one. Okay, back to our route. Well, we need now to back in our route. We need to protect. We need now to protect our route. First of all, we can do something like here. So instead to return this one, we have to wrap this in a private. So what I can do is can do private, sorry, private route, and then pass this guy in here. So this now will we set now as a protected. So to access this one first, you have to pass through the private route to our private route. So we process you there, and then you come back here. So let's also say private route something for admin also. It's the same thing. Okay. So we have to make sure our private route exists. So if you save that, go back to our home page, our dashboard. Now we are here. So now let's try to access again our, let's try to access, for example, seller dashboard. Copy the same part again. Go to the dashboard, to the route, to the home page, and then just pass any random ID here. They redirect you back to home page to login. So any route you'll try here, they will redirect you back to login. Let's also try this one, and then pass any random ID. They redirect you back to login. All right. So if you go to login, back to our login, where is our login? Okay, our login is here. Okay, so our login, we don't have much in here. Login. Let's try to check to make sure that we are actually importing our login, because it seems like we are not actually importing our login. Private root, import to login. So for the login, okay, it looks like we are login. Our login is not. If we redirect you back to home page, let's go try, for example, seller, and then give any random ID, redirect you to home page. This is working, but our login. So if I try login just from here, you can try to just as login. Oh, okay. Looks like the problem is actually with our login template. So we can work on that. We can deal on that with that. But for now, let's close this one, and then also close this. We will get back to this later. And you can also close the main and close the index to clear up the place. And then dashboard too. So back to login, we want to see why the login is not working. We are not showing anything from the login return statement. We have to see if we've got any error here. In login, there's no error. No location match login. So what you can also do, is you can copy this error. Sometimes when you are coding, when you are programming, sometimes you get confused with some stuff. So take here and then let's say got this error, and then and my code is, let's try to get this this our route, up route. What was our up route again? Yeah, here is up route. Here is up route, and also we got a navigation. Let's get the private route. So take also the private route, go to, and then add here. So let's see if ChatGPT can help us debug the issue with the login not showing anything. So for the login, we also supposed also to provide the login. Update for private, so ChatGPT will be able to fix the redirect logic in a private route. In private route, the logic for the role-based redirection should be executed correctly. You are missing a return statement in this redirection. All right. So let's see the update here. Check path spelling users. Oh, exactly. That's the issue. Okay. So private, this is a private. Let's, oh, sorry. I think that was wrong. So we should just copy the, see, first of all, what we are copying here. We are just copying the private function, private route. So this is a private route, and then let's replace with the this. So where you are, if you want to see where is the error is actually coming from. This guy suggesting that they use this. Let's see, they update private like this, and they change check path spelling where we have this one and then that one. Ensure that the login is in the login is actually in a page / login. All right, so you copy this one and then you go back to our private route, and then we want to try to paste this one here and to see the change if it's actually correct. Back to our login, try to reload. That didn't fix the problem. Let's see. Seller, and then pass the ID. If you go back to the user, let's copy this one to login. No, login is actually correct. So the login, and then from the route, you want to see the login. Route login is not actually defined here. The login is not here, so we have to do login. Have to do, oh sorry, login and then register. So we have to import these guys. I'm sure that there we have login, and then also we have register. This was actually the problem. I don't know why ChatGPT didn't find this one. I don't know. Sometimes when you're using ChatGPT to debug some issues, you need to be careful, because it might also lead you in some some things are not working. All right, so if I go back to, let's go back to copy. Let's copy, for example, user. This is user, and then try to access it. So this is supposed to redirect us back to login. So I give any random ID, you send redirecting us to login. So what we want to do now is create now, first of all, the login and then registration page, so that now we be able now to start building our dashboard and then start posting the product. All right, guys. All right, so what we want to do now, we need now to build our login and registration page, so that we be able to log in, choose our role, and then log in, and they also start now building our dashboard. All right, guys. All right, guys. So to get started building, designing and building our login and the registration templates, in short, authentication templates. So first of all, I have some design here. I don't have to type everything to make this video a bit short. So I just post it here, and I'm going to explain to you whatever we have here. So in this one, we have we just have box. So which you probably have to import box from material design, MUI. So we're just going to import. We are going to import uh, use state. We're also going to import links navigation. We're also going to import so box. Let's close this first. From material UI, so we want to import box. We want to import button, circular progress, text field, typography, all of that. So this is everything we need to import in it for this one. Okay, we also need to create some of variables, but before that, I want to also to show that we have the same thing in here. So we just import the box, which we set we give some style, set display to flex, and then a column, a center, so to make sure that everything appears in the center. And then we also give the title register, and then the error, handling errors. So for input field here, we are going to work on this together. We have just name, email, and then verification code, if manager, and then role, set to role, all of that. So we are going to work on this one step by step. In here, we are going to import the same thing, all of this one. So I'm just going to copy this and then paste this here. Okay. But before that, before continuing this one, I want us to work on auth slice for regex. So we have to go to features folder, our features folder. Where is our features folder? This one, minimize this, and then also this one. Route features folder. So we want to create another folder here called auth. So in auth, we want to create auth slice, .js, and then what I like to do is to add a readme here, which will help other user readme .txt. All right. So for auth slice, this is where we are going to handle the user, store the user information, all of that, check if user is logged in, all of that. So we are going to store in here. So to do that, first of all, you need to import create slice. Import create slice. I don't need that for now. From Redux.js toolkit. And then next, we want to initiate now, create that. First of all, our initial set. So initial state, we are going to have the user's nil, token is nil, and then is authenticated is false, and then is loading is also equal to false. And then we also need to add errors. Error is equal to nil. Okay, what else? I think that's it. Secondly, we want to now to create now auth slice. First of all, you're going to do const auth slice, and then you create. The name is equal to auth, and then initial state is equal to initial state is equal to our initial state here. And then also now we create now registers, so it's got to login. We've got some few things here to work on. AI is actually helping us filling all, but it's not actually exactly. What I want to do is I have to set, I think I have to get rid of some of things here, and then we can work on it. Let me go through one by one. So we have login, which we just set the state. We don't need this action, the login set state. And then we also have logout, and then login, set login, all of that. What, first of all, I think we can make myself a bit clear by getting rid of this one. And then what I want to do first of all is we have login, but we need to have first of all login start. Login start. So in the login start, we have a state, and then we want to state the is loading to true, and then state errors, set errors to nil. Okay, and then we need also login success, which also we need to set is loading to false, and then is authenticated to true, and then payload is actually the user, and then action payload is token. Action payload token, also get the token, and then we get the user and then get the token. Login failure. So login failure. So we have state and then action. So it's loading to false, and then the error message, error to payload. Okay, that's for login. Let's log out. Just going to have a logout. We set the user to nil, token to nil, is authenticated to false. Registration or register. Have a register start. So for register start, we just set is loading to true, error to nil. And then register, we also have register success. We set to register success for is loading to true, and then over. So this is actually repeating the same thing. So we repeat this one, and this one is actually the same thing. So the last one, you have to get rid of this because it's already up here. So have login success, and then login failure, logout, and what else? Get rid of that. That's it. For reset password, we don't have it now. We will work on that one later. Okay, so Okay, next, and then we're just going to export the auth slice. But before exporting, exporting, we have to also to export them. We have to export all the stats, huh? All these ones, because we need to use them. Okay, I'm just going to save this. Or we need to use all this set in our login and then registration. But now we have it, but we need now to register now our slice. So we can go to register now. Now that we need also to create another file in our route. Here, close this, and then this. This is our route. In our route, you need to create now the store. You need to create the store where now we need to register this guy, store.js. All right, so for store.js, what we are going to do, import configuration, import configuration, nope, import configuration store, configuration store from React to reduce toolkit. Actually, this is supposed to be that one. The top one is not correct. All right, so and then next, we also need to import the auto register. So we can import auto register, and then now create now the store, the configuration store. So we are going to use our auto register. Let's see, const. Okay, const store is equal to configuration store, and then we pass now our auto register store. Finally, we're just going to import it. So we can add many, but right now we just have a auth store, and then just going to export this one. Sorry. Back here, I have to make sure that everything is actually correct before go ahead and test it. Okay. All right. So this is the store. We just configure our store, but we need now to actually uh, use it. So to use it, we have to use now in our many file main.jsx. So first of all, we need to wrap this in our app provider. To wrap in app in a provider, not app provider, but provider, and then use the store. In order for us to use the store, right, this is correct. But now we need to import. We need to import now the provider from Regix, so we can import provider from Regix, and then we need to import the store. Now, just to import our file now, which is the store, the configuration file, and then we store that, and then we store that, we save that, and back to our login. We have to try and test this, but before that, we have some few things to do here to make our application, our login start working. First of all, from our login here, okay, first of all, we need to create a login, create a sign in. Let's call this sign in so that doesn't conflict. Sign in is equal to sign in, but we need to get the form data. You can just pass in form data or just pass in whatever. I don't know. We can just pass in form data. Let's say form data. All right, and then what I want to do, we want to get the name, sorry, the email. Here in sign in, we only need the email and then also need the password. So that's it, and then we will do try catch, but we will need to import Axio. We are going to use Axios for to make a request. So this is our to make a request. This is our sign in function. So what we are trying to do is just this function. It will just make a request to the back end, and then we return the data is error or success data. So just return. All right. We could have done just in here, but I like to separate it this way. Yeah, it makes sense. All right. Next, we want to define our URL. Const URL URL is equal to. First of all, we could have checked if the user is admin, or if user has token, if user is admin, whatever. But for this, we're just going to use one login to handle the admin, to handle the user or seller, to handle the buyer or seller or admin. So we are going to use this one is equal to, not that, but we want to use localhost. Sorry, localhost, and then port 5001, and then login. So we remember we have to do Auth. If we go to our postman, this is our postman. So this is actually the URL we want to log in. This is actually just for the user, the public user. So we want to use this URL to log in. Okay. Secondly, this is actually supposed to be login. Okay. Secondly, we want now to we can do try catch, and then do const response rise is equal to await Axio, and then Axios, and then send post request. Then we just pass the data, email, and then the password. Okay, that's it. So, and then we return the data. You return the data, or if it's error, you can just throw the error. Doesn't matter. If it's error, just go ahead and throw the error. So you can do throw exception errors just failed to log in. But you can also do console.log error. Let's say error, then get that one. That's it for this file. There's not much to do there. The rest now we are just going to use we want to use the dispatch. So we can do const dispatch, const dispatch is equal to use dispatch. So we don't have it, we need to import it. Use dispatch is equal to nil. We need to import the dispatch. So we can import the dispatch from regix, React to regix. What do import dispatch from regix, give it some space. And then what else do we need to import? XEO, we have it ready. And then also need to import app provider, because we need the app provider. Import app provider. app provider. Import app provider from at Redux.js, no, at tool toolpath go, and then we want to use. So what we have to do is go at the bottom here. Instead to have this, we have to wrap everything in with the app provider, so that we'll be able to use most of the things for the UI. So you can go down here. I'm just going to copy everything. What I can do is just going to change this to app provider here. Yeah. So things looks like a bit messy, so don't worry, we are going to clean up a little bit. We can also use AI to clean up. You can use ChatGPT to clean up your code. This is actually a thing coding step by step, so make sure to subscribe to promote the channel. So we are not doing copy and paste. So if you want to become a better developer, software engineer, so you have to learn how to code step by step. Debugging issue, find where's the issue, so code, take your time to code, don't rush. Next, we can use a navigator. We also need to use navigator. Const navigator, or we don't have navigator first. We can import it, navigate, import navigate. We have to import navigate. So we can import navigator and links. I don't know, we have a navigator already. So we need to import links. Also need to set the errors in case we get errors. We also need to set the loading, and then what next? To set handle signing in, prevent the default, and then set the login to true, set the set error message to nil, and then call now the set the user sign in. So to wait for our sign in, this is our sign in function. So to wait for the sign in to send the response. We are also doing a try catch. Try catch if we get error, if your user is not nil. So we set the login. First of all, we dispatch the user. We don't have to dispatch that way. We just set the login success. So we set login login success. So I need to import it automatically. Yeah. So first of all, we could also import all of them, but let's go step by step. Login success, and then what else need here? Login failure, and then login start, and login start, login failure. So that is okay. Okay, so what we do is we just create another function handle sign in, which is down here. Handle sign in. Okay, this is the function. No, we actually use the form submission. So we are using handle sign in. We are actually so we need to, let's see. Yeah, so we are using our on submit. So we call this function, we call our function, and then this function we set it, we prevent the default form submission. We prevent from reloading the page, and then set the loading to true, and then set the error message to nil. So we wait now for the response from now this menu guy here. So this guy, the job is just to send the request to the server, get the response. So if we get the response, if we have user, we set the success user, and then we want to, now we will handle the, say, handle, sorry, handle the navigation or redirection, the dashboard. Yeah, redirect. So for handle or redirect, so we need to check. So check, what we can do is if user, dot role is equal to admin, is the same thing we are doing in the from the app root. So we check if the user dot role is equal to admin, or dot role is equal to manager. So we're just going to navigate to manager. Else if the user dot role is equal to seller, we redirect to the seller, and then else we're just going to redirect to sorry, we have to wrap in parentheses since we have so much here, which may cause an issue. We're just going to redirect to user dashboard, but this actually required to have requires to have ID, to set the ID. So going to set like this, and then we're just going to put a $, and then curly bracket, and then you pass the user ID. So user ID does not come with the underscore, so I'm going to copy this one too. Let's do the same thing here. So we need to, sorry, need to pass the ID, and then also this one need to pass the ID, then user ID, not customer but just user ID and plus dashboard, but we need to pass I need to make sure that you pass the, sorry, make sure that you pass the slides. All right. This is it. We have now to go and try to, we don't need this one. Okay. But before that, if you get user, we also need to store user and token, the local storage. Local storage. So you can do a set user, set item, local storage dot set item. So we set the user, we make set user as string, and then also local storage dot set token, we set also user token. But the thing is, this one we want to receive it as token, we can just we call it res. Can call this res. Yeah. We actually need to return res here, response, and then need to return the data. Okay. And then from the data we are getting, we can get if the data, if data, and you can check for the status, but the status is not coming here. The status actually is coming from down. If you want, you can just return, we can just return the response, and then from down here you can now check for the status, the status status, if it's equal to 200, or status is equal to 201. So yeah, if that way, so that's not, that does not mean that you have user, but you have to check if you have user. So if you raise dot user. So you have to define, let's say const user is equal to res.data.user, and then token is equal to res.token res.data.token, and then we check if we have user, if user and token. So we do these things here. So you have to make sure that we get the data, especially when you are developing in a production application. You have to check the status. Sometimes it could be 201 or 200 or 201. So this depends on the settings from the server. So you mentioned on the default one is 201. Right. So this is it. So we want to set the token, but now we don't need to set this one. We just need to set the user from the token from here. Oh, that's it. And then the success, for success. Okay, we need to dispatch the success. So we pass that. We take, for success we pass user and then token. What else do we need to set here? That's it. We're still working on this. Okay. Okay, but if catch error, we need to also to show error, so can call dispatch, also call dispatch login failure, and then you pass the message. Or set error, you can also set error, and then you can finally you can call set loading to false. What else do you need to set? This is it. Is it for the login here? I'm trying to clear up the errors, so we get rid of this one for React, and then login start. For the login start, we actually need to call it when you start. Where is our login again? Handle, and then we need to call the login start. Okay. Now we have to go and see. Okay, so let's save this and then go to our browser. This is our MERN application. So we have to look, take example of this one. Actually, I want to go to login. Let me try to type here login. This is the MERN application. This is not the one we are building. So you can see this one. This is the one we are building actually. And our application is this one, the current application. So this is how our login looks like for now. So if I hit registration, we don't have anything there. So can navigate back. We are going to work on the registration, but for now, this is our login looks like this. What I would like you to do is I want to go and do the same thing for registration. All right, guys. So for registration, we need this one. We need all of this one. We need to copy this. We just go to registration and paste this here. We have some of this. So we need to create a function called now sign up. Say const sign up is equal to async function, and then we create now our URL and all of that. We set all of that, but for here we have a couple of things we need to do first. For here, when we are getting, we need to get the data. Let's say const first of all here, let's say make sure that this first of all is form data. It makes sense. We don't have to confuse us. Let's say name is equal to form data name, and then we get the email. We also get the role, password, password const role is equal to form data role, and then what else? Const store name is equal to store name, and then also const description is equal to store name description. All right, so let me explain myself here. What's happening here that, okay, in this form here, the design is exactly the same as this one, and then it's exactly the same as the original website. So if you see the original website, if you select that you want to log in as manager, you see, for example, we are seeing another input field here require the verification code. All right, this is this code is about we don't have the code here, but you can set verification code, verification uh, verification code, and then yeah, so this is what the verification code is about. So we pass the registration verification code. So if you select as a seller, so all right, you are a seller now, we are asking you for the store name and then description. This is now what this one is about, store name and then description. All right, secondly, for the URL here, we want to check your role, want to check if role and role is equal to manager. So we set the URL. So we want you to log in, because if you go to our postman, this is a postman. You remember in a postman, in a previous video, we used different URL to sign in. For example, here you are signing in here as manager, right? All right, you are signing in here as manager. So if you go back to this, I'll just set the URL here to sign in as manager. So what I would like also to do is, instead to keep changing the URL here, using the same URL here, we want to create a .env file. So we go to our route, app route. So we go to our app route, just here. Sorry, app route, create a .env file. So in .env file, we can create let's create a base URL. Base URL is equal to let's create a base URL. Base URL is equal to HTTP, and then we can pass the port. Yeah, we can pass the port like that. So we just pass the port and then we call the API. Yeah, so the rest we will add. Yeah, this is the URL, but you know, in a production you won't need this. Sometimes you'll need it. So what we want to do is go back to we have to go back to util, util, and go to okay, this is the util. So for the util, we want to create, so we want to create the base URL in the util. Let's create a file called api.js. So const base URL, const base URL is equal to URL. But what we want to do, what I can do instead, I can use the one from .env, or you can just set from here. So I can set HTTP, so to use this one, HTTP localhost. We don't need to set as manager, so we just set a API, and then actually we just pass an API, yeah? And then we leave the slice which will be added from there, from any request you're adding from any path. So the secondly, we want now to, this is, we remove the first for that one. What I want to do is actually create now, or export, say export export const, export const server base URL, and then we set it to base URL, but I have to wrap it in backtip. So like this, like wrap it in backtip, and then you put slice, and then I can put API, API. So what I'm trying to do here is, this is going to be for the URL request. So we can also create another which can be used for images. Yeah, can say function. Let's just call it function. Function construction. Construct function construct full image path, full image URL. So in this function, you can do also export get image, or get image or load image is equal to image. So when you give it image, or you get your base URL, and then also you pass the image. So you get, this is our base URL, and then you pass the image. So we export the get image function. You can call it get image, or just call it load image. Load image. This is okay. All right. So instead to keep repeating the same code, loading image, load the URL part. So for this one, let's just save it. We will get back to .env file. But now, from our login here, instead to hard code this one, I'm just going to take this part, and then get rid of this, so I can pass. Sorry, I can pass backtip, and then $, and load server base URL. So don't need to pass this one, and then we just need to pass. If you see, we have to confirm our URL was API manager. So API. So we don't need this one. Just going to call API, and then register. We don't need this one too. Yeah. So this is it. So we have to make sure that our base URL is imported. We have import our base URL. So you can import, import import the base URL. I have to make sure that you import the base URL, not config, but let's try to see. Util and API. I have to try to make sure that the path is correct. Util and API. So the base URL, this is the one we are going to use. So this one, but if not, we are going to wrap this. the base URL again. So we call the register. So now for the login, we are not going to do the same thing for the login. Instead, we are just going to pass, can just call the base URL and then auth login. Going to call base URL and auth login. That's it. So save that one, and then for this one, you have to correct here, got an error. All right, guys. So I'm sure we have no error here. Okay, so for the data, for all of this one, we could create a variable to store all this, do const data, and then just pass all of this one here. You can pass form data instead to send one by one. You just pass form data. Or you can pass name, email, password, role, and store name, all of that. Okay, that's it for sign up. So we need to use now the sign up in here, right? But before that, we have to do also try catch. You get the res, and then we just return the res. Yeah, that's okay. Just return the res. Okay, so for registration, let's do const. First of all, let's get the dispatch. Let's bring in the dispatch. Const dispatch. Bring in the dispatch, and then the rest is automatically loaded. So also bring the navigate, and then set the errors, bring in the loading, all of that. So the default is not manager. Let's set default to user, because manager need some certain permissions. All right. Next, let's just go and create now a handler, which can now help us to handle the request. Say handler is equal to await is equal to async function, and then prevent default, set loading to true. But we also want to load some stuff here. We need a registration. We need also to use a regix here. We need to use our auth slice here. So to do that, scroll back to the top. We can import it to here. Before this, it's a handle request, and then the auth slice. So can do const. Sorry, not const, but import auth slice. So going to import auth slice, but we have things we need to import in here. First of all, need to import the registration, register start, and then registration success, and then register failed. Register, we need to import register start, register success, and then register failure. From our feature, this is the feature, and then this is the auth, and here this is our slice we are using, which was already register from the store, and we are using it on the main JS. So this is a main JS, and then here is our store. So close this one. We don't need all of this one now for now. and then API.js can also close this one and take readme. We will add the readme later. Can also close this one. All right. So back here, we also need to set the message to nil. Also need to set the dispatch register start. So we wait for the response. Wait for the response. If we get the response, so we wait for the response, and then we want to set now the form data. Form data we get now from the E. But before that, what I like to do now is I don't want to use that. I want to log the data, but let's just go ahead and keep this because I wanted to see, first of all, to see the data, what the data we are getting. To speed up things, let's just keep going so that this will make things, it will make this video a bit shorter. This is it. So I want to walk you through the input we have here and what we are handling here. So first of all, after dispatch our register starts, so we're just going to wait to do try catch, and then we wait for the response. So once the response is equal to await, so wait, we call our sign up function, which is up here. Not, yeah, it's up here. This is the sign up function, and then the sign up function is waiting for the form data. So we get all the data, the inputs from the form data, and we send the request the server. So request the server, we are sending, if you are manager, the role is manager, so we send it to the role, to the manager path for the registration. Else we send it to the auth registration, so for the public user. After that, we wait now. No, that was the path. We created the path, and then after that we send now the request. We are using Axios, and then just say axios.post, and then you pass our URL and then data, which is this one, and we return the response. If it's failure or if there's data or there's no data, this function just return the response. And then we catch the error, we just throw the error if there is any. So we can also catch the data and then just catch the error and then just show the error. Down here, after we get the data from this guy, what we do is we call the dispatch success, and then here also we need to, if you fail, you just call the dispatch register failure. You pass the message, or we can check if the message does exist. Else we can pass just something, for example, registration failure. Registration failed. Okay. All right, so we can check for error. We can call also dispatch to dispatch the registration. I can call register failure. So we pass the error, but you can check if error message exists. We send that. Else we just send a string with a message that the registration failed. Okay, so if our registration is successfully, we are just going to send user or redirect the user to the login, so that user can log in again. So the navigate, remember we got navigate from here, so we are importing navigate from React router DOM, and then this is what we are doing here. Okay, this is it for this handle sign up. Now we have now our design. Design is just a simple design or display flex. We are using a box, which is a material UI. This is our applications here. If you go to, this is how the application session looks like. So material UI, this is material UI. You can search for box. If you don't know about material UI, I can recommend you to take a time, take a moment to read. This can help you to speed up your development, things like that. It will help you much a lot. So using material UI, and then we also have Tailwind CSS. So we have Tailwind CSS. Not that. Tailwind CSS. So this is the official website for Tailwind CSS. So this is what we are using for the design. All right. So here is our login, our registration so far. Can go back to the login and then go back to registration. But if you see the background is not good. So I want to walk you through what we have here. Our design is so simple. You have registration, title. We can also add the logo here, our logo, and then we have now the message, which we set the messages up here. We have the message here, and then we set the state to messages equal to nil. And down here, if you get the message, we just display the message here. Next is so this is a component. The box is actually a component is form, so you can set the box to anything. So right now we are setting to form, and then for you submit. So when you submit, we call now our handle. What say handle sign up, which is here, and then by default, this one take the form. We get the input as a target, as a value. So by default, we get all the values from this one. So we have E, and then we target the E dot target. So we target all the elements, all the inputs field from this form. So we have a name, which is a very just name, and then name and email, roles, and all that. Email, role, verification code, role. Role. So you see, role. We have some option. Role is actually select options, which we have buyer, seller, and then manager, and then we store name, and then description. So this we are also using the input field, material UI input field. So you can go here, search for material UI input field for input field. From here, you'll be able to see or to read much about the input field. So everything we are using is from most of the things we are using is from material UI, and then Tailwind CSS for styling much. Okay, but in this case, we are not using Tailwind here to style. This is a default already styled. They got style already, so we don't have much to style here. The text field. All right, that's it. But for now, let's talk about roles. If you go to the original website, the original application, we see the role here. Once you change, we also update the UI. Once you change the role, you're updating the UI automatically. So to do that, here we have now the role, where we set the role. This is the role. So we create the role. By default, you set the value to user, and then you also check now up here. If you change the role to manager, automatically we ask you to so the field will be required. this field, this field, text field will be required so to provide verification code. So another thing is, you can see here we have the code, but up here we are requesting for verification code. So this is an error. You need to fix it. So we can go back down here and then try to change the code to verification code. So this will match. Up here, anywhere else you have to check. So this will be, you will confirm this until you send the request to the server. But before we move forward, let's copy also the registration success to update just down here. So what you have to do, come down here, dispatch. When you get the instead supposed to use this, instead to use the login success. Yes, we don't need this one. We have to get rid of this. Yes, and then app provider. So we need to wrap our now our design, our UI with the app provider. All right, and then save. Go back to, this is our original website, and then this is now our application we are building. So now we can see our UI got now design. So you see, if I change it to manager, this now require you the verification code. Then if I change it to seller, and then this require you the store name. So this is actually happening from here. So if the role is equal to seller, we require you the description and the store name. This is it. Most of it. Now when you send the request, we just have this loading, and the loading is actually up here. This is the loading. So the default state is equal to false, and we just, if you set, you submit the form, and then we show you the loading. We show you the circular progress. It's the same thing. If you go to our original website, this is the original website, and then try to sign up. When you send, you see the circular. This is the only circular we have. So you see the original website, when you send the request, the registration. After, if it's successfully, they send you back to login. So this is what is happening to our template here. Okay, from the bottom, we don't have much. Just have, if we ready, we ask the user if the user has an account ready. So we just redirect back to login. That's it. So this is our application. So don't confuse with this one. Our application is actually nothing. It's actually empty for now. If you go to home page, we don't have anything, just showing you. So, but the original one, if you go to home page, you see we got products, everything. The original one is actually working properly. Everything is in place. Yeah, this is the original one. Everything is there working properly. You can purchase your product. You can see everything. So we want our application to look exactly as the original one. All right. Back to login or registration. This is the registration. Okay, what we want to do now, we want to test the request. So before testing the request, we have to go to the server, make sure that everything works properly. Let's just go ahead and send the request and see. So I'm using the fake filler. You can go and download, type fake filler. Fake filler is good for development, so it help you speed up development. So instead for you to start adding all of this input, so you just press here, and then we'll be able to get all the information. All right, so here failed to register. Okay. Console.log error. Now we get an error here. Try to sign up again. Failed to register. You can go to network to see the request. So we actually didn't send the request to the server. All right. We have to go back to our sign up. Sign up because everything may happen from here to make a request to the server. Okay. All right, so looks like we've got some issues here. We are trying to see where is the issue coming from exactly. We can go through and then get back to start testing application first. First of all, we want to make sure that everything is appear here. We can to console.log to see if we have the data here. Console.log data and submit. We don't have data. Do you have data? We have data. If I say console.log data.name, what do we get? Console.log data.name. All right, so what you can do is you copy. Let's try to debug this using AI. So you can copy this one. So this help us to speed up development. You copy this. Let's fix some issues in here in this code. Not so we have to make sure to tell the AI do not rename the variables or method or functions. Let's wait and see. Fix form data collection. The sign up function correctly expected the form data. No. Form data. Okay, let's see the explanation of change. Handle sign up. Use object.form entry new form data.data get entry to get a form data into object. All right. Sign up function will remove unnecessary console and improve error handling for better clarity. No variable rename, all variable. Okay, everything looks like still the same. Remain the same. Let's just put here and try to see the change. Go back up. This is what we have. Okay, let's save and try to send the request again. Let's try to reload. Send the request again. All right, now we are getting the requests from we have now 404, which means the URL is not correct. Right, the URL is not correct. So to see, we want to see first what the URL. We can see it from here. Make requests, make a request to HTTP auth HTTP auth register. Oh, from I think got a problem because from here we have sign up. So this is an error. So we have to change this to sign up. From here we need to change this to sign up. So if it's auth to sign up, else the manager is if it's the manager is register, and if it's just public user is sign up. And then try again. All right, get now error 404 localhost, then sign up. So if we take this one, you go to Postman. We have to try this from Postman. Try to send, just change the email here to something like this, and then send. Registration successfully, and then error. Cannot send to sign up. Oh, I see. This way you can see our URL is not correct. So if you go back to debug, what we have here, you see that the URL, I got 2/ here. Okay, so to fix that issue, we have this one and that one. So to fix that issue, you have to go to API.js. Okay, so you have to get rid of this one, the first one, and then now come back and try again. What is the error again? 404. Let's try to reload. So this is how you debug issues when you are developing. So we get another error again, 404, but this time that one was gone. "404 not found." If you try to sign up with the different user, you get an error. Cannot post to API auth. Oh, API auth login. API/auth/login. API/log sign up. Try just to sign up, and start different user. So I have to make sure our server is actually working. Nope. Server. '5001. 404. So the one was there before. API login. Try to log in. You have to check for our server. You go to app, server, and then try to save to see. It looks like our server freeze. Our server freeze. This is actually our database. So our database is not responding. So you have to debug from our database, because trying from Postman, also we are not able to log in. So when you're trying to debug our database, we are getting some issue. But we're having also 404. Yeah. Time out. So what I have to do is can go back to MongoDB or this one and try to delete this and add back my current IP address. You can allow access from anywhere. All right, back to our our app and then try to save to see the connection. Now the DB was connected successfully. Let's try now with the Postman. Okay, user already exists. That was you try to send the request. Let's try to send the request to sign up with a different user. Get an error. So API slash API auth and then login, and then let's try sign up. Send the request. Cannot send the request there. Okay, let's try to find the error. Sign up. Auth. Auth to sign up. Internal server error. So try to go to app and save, try to connect again, connect, back, try to send other user. Let's try to log in. Login. Be able to log in. Oh, this is login or sign up. Let's go to Auth. So to Auth controller and then sign up. This is a register, and then that is down here as login. Sign up. For all is equal to seller. If role is equal to seller, all right guys, so some things here we need to correct. First of all, we have to remove this store for single user. For buyer does not need to create a store because there's no store name. And then this one, we're just going to create a user. Yeah, if the store we only create if the user, if the role is a seller. So let's save this and then go back. Let's try with the postman to sign up, to register. So you can, let's say here, a new user, 12, and then send the request. Now user created successfully. So let's go back to our application. Let's try to send the request as new user, again user 001, and then send the request. So actually from here, our client registration, so we need to change this to register. Is actually register. Yes, this is the correct route. And then try to sign up again. So the user now we created the user successfully, and we didn't return the user. So here we just send the payload, but we didn't return the user. User created successfully. So what I can do, I can copy this user email, post it here. I need to paste the user here, and then also the password. This is the password, and then also need to post it here. I need to login first. So need to try also the login. So for the login, this is now the login page. We want to see the request. looks like we have a problem with the path. For the login, we are making a request to, let's see, sign up. We need to make a request to Auth and then log in here. But first of all, we can let's console.log URL, console.log URL, on click on submit. So you want to see the URL. All right, so what you can do here, let's copy this one to give to AI to clean up a little bit. So this will help us to speed up the development. So clean this one. All right, so the change is form data extract from get field. So it's used to get values directly from the inputs. All right, that's okay. We missed that one. Dispatch initialization, remove nil from use dispatch. Okay. Has the error handling error messages it was retrieved from the response if available. All right, that is correct. So you have mostly you have to use AI to help you clean up your code. So to make sure that it's clean. Okay. Now let's try to log in again. Now we're getting 400 error. So this is actually just from the server. If you go to response, get your response data, message user does not exist. Okay, user does not exist. That's strange. You can go back to sign up and then user. So let's copy this email and then sign up. We sign up successfully. If you see the request down here, user was created successfully. So the status code is 201, and then response is success through message user created. So let's go to login and then make sure to change the email, this one, and then login. Now, of course, we managed to log in. Now came to our users dashboard, but from users dashboard we have nothing. If you want to see, you can go to user, public user dashboard. It's actually nothing. So for that, and go to app root. This is user and then dashboard. From down here, this is where we redirect the user. This is where we redirected the user. All right, guys. So let's go back let's go now and start working on organizing the dashboard, and then see how to redirect the user to the dashboard to a proper page after login. So we are going to start now organizing our dashboard and creating the post, all of that. All right, guys, so we can go and check why the user is actually empty, why the dashboard is not there. What I can do is, first of all, we can use window. Redirect the user. So comment the navigate. Let's try to see. Can close this one, don't need it. Go back to user. So here user is logged in, but you can still go back to home page and then go, for example, to login, but you want to go to sign up and then sign up as a buyer. Then we want to log in. Looks like the error is actually with the data we got. But first of all, we want to console.log data. Can do console.log to see what the data we are getting, console.log res, and we don't want to redirect, or we don't want to do all this one. Okay, back again to login, back to login. So we want to try to log in again with this email, and then we want to see the console, get an object, data, and then user. So if you get the user, of course we have you can access the user. If you see there, you can access data. So here, if you console.log the path, actually we are getting the path, and the error is actually from not here, but the error is from dashboard, user dashboard. So if you go to public user dashboard, let's copy this one, make sure it's correct. User dashboard, this is the one, make sure it's correct. Now exactly. All right, guys, so now we are in dashboard. Login was successful. To do very quick before to wrap up with our authentication. Back to login. First of all, let's try to add some things here. First of all, let's add a logo here. Logo, and then also change our let's also change our favicon. So to change that, or actually you can go to okay, to change that, I have my icon ready. Okay, to change that, I have my favicon ready, so I'm just going to change to paste it my app folder. So go to C. Where is the user? The folder is actually somewhere here. The app. This is the app. Then we just go to the app client and public. And I want to paste this here. So you can get rid of this if you want. But for now, just leave it there. Go back to public. So back to our app and then go to public. And then this is the app. But what you want to do, instead, to change that, you have to go to index.html and then remove this one, set the name to our application and just say e-commerce app, and then the favicon which we are going to use is equal to same software, and then save that, back to our browser, reload. Didn't get that icon, so it means the name is not correct. You have to check, but it's .png. Now the our icon now is correct, and our app is actually e-commerce app, and our original app is MERN e-commerce. All right, so this is a currency dashboard, so we are going to build everything from scratch. But before that, let's go back to the login. We want to clean up a little bit the login, and then also can show our logo here. So to do that, let's go ahead and close this one. For here, logo, so we want to do want to wrap that in a box. Display flex, and then direction and center margin, and then we want to pass our logo. Close that, right, then close the box. We don't need this one. So instead it could be 20, but instead of that, I think I can use let me use a div, and then also here I use div. I want to use I don't know why is that error. Can I get rid of this and see? Okay, I see. So can use a div, and then image. So we don't want to set the y like this. What I like to do is can set class name, because we want to start a little bit class. Say size to 16, and then LG, let's size to 26. Large screen, set size to 26, and then the icon is actually going to be public. And then we just want to access want to load our file there, .png. That's it. But I want to style it a little bit, class, and then give it to, actually I want to set flex, and set flex justify center. Yeah, flex justify center. This is how our logo looks like now. Now we can copy the same thing, go to register, scroll down a little bit, register, and then paste this one here. All right. Okay, so if you go back to our register, you have the same thing. Login, you also have the same thing. All right, guys. This is it. So next we want to add now. We can now go and start styling now our dashboard so that we can now start adding the product. All right. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave some comment there, please. Thank you. My name is Shaban Musomba.